The Ricketts family. Know your role and shut your mouth, jabroni. All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We have won. It is an unbelievable situation, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely delighted. I just got a message literally about an hour ago to check out the breaking news, and it goes by something like this. The Ricketts family, ladies and gentlemen, has withdrawn their bid. Unbelievable scenes, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is probably one of the most uplifting stories since all this kerfuffle that's been happening in recent times, sanctions, the club in the mud in terms of can't sell any merchandise, can't sell any tickets, and then obviously the UCL, the way now we're knocked out, and this ownership situation needed to get better. And the whole Ricketts situation, I was convinced that Ricketts were going to win, but I just didn't see this coming. And now they've withdrawn their bid. We're going to get into why they've withdrawn, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very interesting, but at the same time, I guess I'm not surprised that they've messed up. They've messed up, and the greed from the get-go has screwed them. This is what it has come down to. We'll look at the news right now, ladies and gentlemen, as to what went down exactly. Breaking news: the Ricketts-led consortium has withdrawn its bid to buy Chelsea. The group has confirmed in a statement. The Ricketts family have withdrawn their final bid for Chelsea. Jacob Steinberg. This is what the statement reads, ladies and gentlemen. Statement: the Ricketts Family Investment Group, the Ricketts Griffin Gilbert Group, has decided after careful consideration not to submit a final bid for Chelsea FC. I mean, thank the Lord. All those hashtags, all those social media pressure, the protest, kudos to Matisse Armani, my boy, to go out there and organize that. And, it was covered by many, many publications out there. I know these people, and I'll show you the news on it. They're stating that it had nothing to do with the fan views or what their reputation was. It has something to do with the share portion, who's going to, own what. But I'm still confident that their image, the way it was, I suppose, perceived in the fan base, definitely had something to do with it, even though they won't admit. Part 2 of the statement is, in the process of finalizing the proposal, it became increasingly clear that certain issues could not be addressed given the unusual dynamics around the sale process. We have great admiration for Chelsea FC and its fans, and we wish the new owners well. Thank you so much, the Ricketts family, for wishing us well. We are very, very grateful that you've done this. Really, truly. Ken Griffin was vocal in wanting to pull out of the Ricketts Family Investment Group's bid for Chelsea. There were issues over the share split. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is apparently the biggest issue, why this went down, why this has been withdrawn. Ken Griffin was vocal in wanting to pull out, meaning I think he wanted to be the majority shareholder. And obviously there's the Gilbert Group. I think they're back, they're the Rock Entertainment, investment group. And they've got a lot of money. Ken Griffin's got a lot of money. And obviously the Ricketts, they want to make sure that they control Chelsea Football Club's operation on a day-to-day basis. These guys have stuffed up from the get-go. These guys are greedy. That's what it's come down to. Who can have the biggest slice of Chelsea Football Club to ensure they get something out of this at the end of all of this that goes down. So look, I mean, it just shows the caliber of people these guys are. They don't even have an internal understanding, let alone how you're going to run a club. Like, this is mad. I mean, you would have thought they would have talked about all this before even considering a bid for Chelsea Football Club. The fact that they've put together all of these things, they've visited, Chelsea Supporters Trust Group. They've had a meeting with Paul Canaville. They've got internal dealings with Bruce Buck. I mean, how are you coming out, pulling it out? Sounds so wrong, pulling it out. In the final hour, like, seriously, it's incredible. Sir Martin Brodson's final offer for Chelsea has been submitted. So his consortium has been submitted. We're going to look into them. I don't think any of these guys are favourites anymore. It's clear cut. It's got to be Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley is on the straight. No one there competing. Should be winning this. Rain Group will announce the preferred bidder for Chelsea towards the end of next week or the following week. This is what's coming from Sky Cave, from Sky Sports. So hopefully we're near, ladies and gentlemen. Todd Bowley's bid for Chelsea has been submitted with no issue. Fantastic. I mean, I didn't expect these guys. They are smart operators. They're absolutely smart operators. Todd Bowley and his consortium. They knew exactly what they were doing from the get-go. Todd Bowley actually won at Chelsea Football Club in 2019. So, this isn't new for him. This is probably something that he's been wanting to do for a very long time. And now it's coming to fruition, and he was always ahead of the game in terms of planning. Alistair McGowan, wow, Ricketts family withdrawing bid to buy Chelsea is quite a surprise. No indication from sources yesterday that was on the cards. Told it wasn't to do with fan protests, but being unable to agree terms between Ricketts, Griffin, and Gilbert. Many fans will be happy, though. I'm pretty certain. Not only the share side of things, I think greed played a big part in this situation. Who could get the biggest slice in Chelsea Football Club? But I think the fans definitely had something to play with. The pressure finally cracked. All the hashtags, the protests, the fans' backlash. I mean, surely they would have known that this ain't going to go down that well. Nizar Kinsella, the Ricketts-led bid for Chelsea has pulled out, told it wasn't to do with the fan reaction, but more about them just not being able to agree a deal. And it goes something like this. The Ricketts Griffin Gilbert has decided after careful consideration not to submit a final bid for Chelsea FC. In the process of finalising the proposal, it became increasingly clear that certain issues could not be addressed given the unusual dynamics around the sale process. We have great great admiration for Chelsea and its fans, and we wish the new owners well. It became increasingly clear that certain issues could not be addressed given the unusual dynamics around the sale process. Unusual dynamics around the sale process. What do you mean by that? Are you just talking about your shares? Are you talking about the split of the shares, and you just couldn't get into an understanding, couldn't get into a conclusion? Let's be honest about it. At the end of the day, you were just. We've seen what you've done with Chicago Cubs. We've seen what you've done. You've stripped off all the asset, made all the money you could, and now you're probably going to sell that club as well, and trying to get the biggest bidder out there. So that's what you were looking to do with Chelsea Football Club. Let's be honest. There was nothing else that you cared about. Not to mention all the other racist remarks that you made publicly, quite open to everyone. Jake Cohen, make no mistake, the Ricketts bid team didn't get scared away. They got greedy. I love this. This is a fantastic line. Too many fatsos in the group trying to grab the largest slice of Chelsea pie, and the group collapsed under the weight of its own greed. That in itself is absolutely bang on, ladies and gentlemen. PYS tweeted something which I resonate completely. This is what I said and have been saying on my videos covering this particular Chelsea takeover bid situation, and this is bang on. This is bang on. Palika's bid has 9 to 10 investors. That's way too much, and also owns 55% in Atalanta, which, according to Di Matteo, he isn't giving up. I mean, there's a footage going around, ladies and gentlemen, on social media yesterday in the Europa League when Atalanta was playing. Stephen Paluca and a few of the other owners, they were going around with the Atalanta flag, flying it around. And on top of that, how are you going to still maintain to own Atalanta and have Chelsea as well as part of your ownership? When two teams clash in the Champions League, and that's a possibility, that's a conflict of interest, my man. You're going to have to dump those shares. That wasn't this. Stephen Paluca, I don't even know why he's in the race. This is not happening, in my opinion. You can't just dump shares like that, especially 55%. Sir Martin Broughton and Blitzer and Harris, who has stakes in Palace as well. So Blitzer and Harris, they've got about 17% in Palace. We play Palace on Sunday. I mean, once again, the Premier League will look at this situation and be like, look, you cannot be diluting your shares like that quickly. And it doesn't, in the spirit of the whole thing, the Premier League will look at this, in the process of that fit and proper test. They wouldn't pass. They simply wouldn't pass. Bowley seems to be the winner. To me, everything in his bid has no complications. And this is bang on by PYS, ladies and gentlemen. Todd Bowley's consortium, Clear Lake Capital, Bowley himself, I think he's got his other investor who's, the majority shareholder in LA Dodgers is also in now. Jans Wiss is there as well. And there's no complication. And they've got cash to finance all of this. I think all of those bidders had cash to finance this. That's why they've got, a group of investors. And Todd Bowley's history in terms of sporting background is very good as well with LA Dodgers. So for me, they're the clear-cut winners now. And hopefully now, and this is what the reporters have been saying. Athletic has been saying this. Matt Law has been saying that Bowley are the clear-cut favorites. They don't have any of those baggage, off-field baggage that the Ricketts were carrying. No complications, no controversies. Seems to me the most sensible selection out of the rest. They don't have any shares on other football club, which will be a conflict of interest for Chelsea. So for me, ladies and gentlemen, look, fantastic news. Ricketts are done and dusted. Finally, the fans, we've won something. And honestly, each and every one of us should be very, very happy and proud. Finally, we have won. Finally. And I hope this now comes to the end of the saga and Todd Bowley can finish this off. We hear the final news very, very soon and we can move on. We've got a lot of things that we need to ensure that we get done in terms of contract extensions for Rudiger. We'll see what we do with Azpilicueta. We need to look into the transfer market and make sure the businesses are done smartly as soon as the summer transfer window is opened up. And also long-term contracts for hopefully for Thomas Tuchel as well, which is very, very important for the success of this football club. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what your thoughts are. Are you happy? Are you excited? The fact that the Ricketts are you sad? Are you one of those fans that probably wanted the Ricketts? But as you saw, why they've knocked themselves out? Because, they've got disagreements before they even bought Chelsea Football Club. Enough said, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you've enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time. See ya.